Ready? Three, two.
Yes.
Yeah, here we are again. Yeah, F
F
files.
music, F music.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
it hasn't come up on my end yet. No one's
It's
told me.
it is for
It's
the
on.
last 25 seconds.
Are we recording? Oh, I
We
see the
are
light. I
recording.
see the
Yeah,
light. I see the
we are
light.
on. Yeah, it's F files.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hit
thing.
that theme music bar. We need we need theme music.
we
We
need
need theme music.
we need intro music and outro
Yep.
music. We just need music
Yeah,
to
we need
go with
just
this.
music. Non-copyrighted music,
Original.
preferably. Original.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back in the seat. It's good to be back in this seat. Good to be back here on the channel, discussing the here, there, and whatnots
This is a
of
whatnots
this is a
because
whatnots. Yeah.
yeah, we got to dig deep into the vault.
Yes, yes. We straight Scrooge McDucked this episode. We ripped it right out of the Spotify archive.
Right. Yeah. Out of the Spotify archive. Right.
Yep.
Because it was highly requested, like you said.
Highly requested. Highly requested. Perhaps two of you wanted this secretly. So
This is the episode you've all been clamoring for, just didn't know it.
yes, clamoring is the word of the day. Hashtag clamoring. Hashtag clamoring.
Hashtag save the guinea pigs.
Always. Always. Did you know it's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland? Did you know that?
Stop, dude. I can't
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
real? So,
Yeah.
so
Because
you
they come
own
in
two,
pairs.
and then you just have 100 of them in like a
I
week.
I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, it's a cool thing for guinea pigs. I'm all about supporting the plight of the guinea pigs, but this is not about guinea pigs. So annoying. There are no guinea pigs in New Guinea. And send the guinea pigs to New Guinea is a new movement.
They might get eaten.
Send the guinea pigs to Guinea, everyone. Oh my goodness, Jesus! Can I just Google something? What the fuck is Guinea? I still don't know.
Didn't you go to like New Guinea when you were younger?
No, I didn't because I'm back. My uncles were what are they called? Missionaries in Papua New Guinea.
I thought you went to New Guinea.
Hell no. Where is I'm trying. How do you spell Guinea? I put where is GU, and then my Google was like, where's Gucci Mane from? Like, no, where's Guinea?
Where is Gucci Mane from? He's from the Isles of Gucci.
Obviously.
He's from the main Isle of Gucci.
Oh my God. It's in Western Africa.
Do they have guinea pigs there?
Hold on. This is science right here. We're checking it out. Does Guinea have guinea pigs? Guinea pigs are not native to Guinea. You heard it here first. They come from South America. So riddle me that, Batman.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, well.
But I honestly I always thought that guinea pigs came from Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, there are no guinea pigs in Papua New Guinea or Guinea. But there are guinea pigs in the fucking Andes. So now that we got that out of the fucking way. I'm just saying. I think we should do that. That should be our only movement here on this channel. Is send the guinea pigs back to Guinea.
You're kidding. Just airdrop like 1,000 of them.
Airdrop guinea pigs. Like what is this? We're home.
Oh my goodness. That'd be so funny. And then they take over.
Yeah, right. Invasive species.
Yeah, they like eat everything there. They destroy all the cornfields or wheat fields or whatever they got over there.
I don't know. I don't know where it is. Wherever Guinea is, again, I already forgot. It's like Western Africa, so I don't know what they're going to eat. Maybe the rainforest, but it would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see.
Oh my gosh,
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? That would be
dude!
like the whitest thing we could do.
Oh,
Send guinea pigs back to Guinea because they need you. It's in the fucking name.
that's where they came from.
That's what they came from. It's in their name. Send them home.
It's in
Jesus
there,
Christ.
yeah. Why else would they call it Guinea?
Yeah, exactly. Why else? Why else would they name something a guinea pig?
It doesn't come from Guinea.
Oh, well, sorry, guys. This episode is not about guinea pigs.
It's not about saving. This one isn't about saving the guinea pigs, but we should save the guinea pigs.
Coming soon.
Next time you're in PetSmart, just let them all loose.
Yeah. They told me to do so. Oh man.
Yeah, funny would that be if we see that all over the news? People all over the world.
They link it to this fucking podcast. Could you imagine? All 5 people go out and release guinea pigs.
Oh man, so by the way, yeah, that's nothing to do with the episode that we're talking
Yeah, yeah. So we went out there then. So okay, cool.
We went on a 7-minute talk about. So anyway,
yeah.
Welcome back to another exciting and very interesting episode of the Av Files. I'm your host, Av, and with my co-host, none other than Daniel of Unplugged Nation or Areas in the Nation.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I've been known by many names. Yeah, that works. But yes, it is good to be back. It is good to be back. I can't wait. I can't wait to get to this because honestly, more people need to know about this historical individual that we will be spotlighting today.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's just my thoughts.
I'm still on the guinea pigs.
Don't eat the quicker you leave the guinea pigs behind, the better it is for the rest of the episode.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, no. Glad to have you back. This is an interesting episode. We did cover this before on Spotify, and because not too many people are listening to Spotify,
yeah,
we decided to put it on. We're putting them on YouTube.
Yep, because it needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting character, to say the least.
Yeah. If you were, in those stories, where you're like, oh, I wonder what happens if the bad guy gets away. You kind of root for the bad guy. This is one of those. You're like, oh, whoa, he's definitely having the time of his life. But that's enough talk. Let's dissect this man's life.
But don't most people root for the bad guy in the movies?
I don't know, man. I think when you're older, when you're older and you're more cynical, I think you do. Just because it'd be different. Like I was like, and that's more recently, to be honest, where I was like, oh, was Thanos really bad? And I was like, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
He was just misunderstood. One of those things where I'm like, oh, let's just say, hey, let's just chill with the whole bad guy thing. So I don't know, man. I think recently I've been more cynical of heroes, and more. I don't know, man. I think every situation. I think every situation is different, obviously, because if you're going on a mass murder spree, obviously you're a bad guy. Like,
well, yeah.
But like in like comic books and stuff, I'm like, it doesn't matter.
No, well, yeah. I mean, if I shouldn't say it. So, yeah, that was gonna go down. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, but I mean, if you're gonna take like superhero movies, I mean, you kind of. I was rooting for the Winter Soldier, even though he was a bad guy at first. Now he's a good guy. But I was kind of
I'll
rooting
put it
for him.
that way.
I thought it
I'm
was
always
cool.
rooting for the anti-hero. For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. Like the Punisher, Deadpool, stuff like that, Venom.
Mm-hmm.
They're all considered like anti-heroes, I
Yeah,
would say.
true,
But
true.
the episode's not about them either, guys. So man, we're just letting you
Right, yeah.
down left and right.
Right, yeah. It's not about them.
No.
But is again, this character is interesting.
Yeah.
So on today's episode, we'll be talking about one of the FBI's most wanted criminals of the early 2000s. He was very elusive, kept the cops guessing and frustrated, and the town was in fear, but he did have almost like a cult following. Now, this criminal had 67 felonies, stole 6 airplanes, and spanned over 3 countries. And in hearing this, you think this guy was like some kind of Batman mastermind type person. But, oh, and one of the most interesting points, this master criminal was only 16 years old at the time. Right, yeah. A 16-year-old.
Nuts, man. God. Yeah.
At 16, I wasn't even trying to do half of the stuff that this guy was doing.
67 felonies. That's just like he has to have set a record.
Mm-hmm.
He's had to have set a record.
Oh, heck yeah.
67 felonies at 16. Ridiculous, man. I was learning how to write cursive still.
At 16?
I have no idea. I'm just trying to think of something that I could have been learning at 16.
I
don't
mean,
even
by
know.
16, I already knew how to drive. I was already driving.
I was trying to learn Spanish I was failing Spanish class at 16. That's what I was doing. I was kicking or I was having Spanish kick my ass.
You were getting your ass kicked by Spanish.
Yeah, 100%.
But didn't your dad help you out?
No, I was failing Spanish and English. So my dad came and was like, "What language do you speak?" And I was like, "Damn,
none of them.
None. I speak freedom. I'll live forever." Oh, such an idiot.
All
right.
Funny. So, who is this 16-year-old that kept the cops on the heels? Well, his name is Colton Harris Moore of Mount Vernon, Washington. He was born to an alcoholic mother named Pamela on March 22nd, 1991. Colton had a pretty rough upbringing. He lived in a trailer park, which, I mean, alcoholic mother, trailer park kind of go hand in hand.
Unfortunately.
And had to scrounge around for food. His father used drugs and was in and out of jail. And when Colton was 12, his father, who had just been released from prison and was at a family barbecue, got into an argument, then just walked into the woods. And from reports, he was arrested later on and never heard from again. Not sure how true that is. That's just from a report. So Colton never really got to know his father.
Now, that's one way to leave, I guess. Like, hey, family abandonment. Yeah, just barbecue. Everyone's there. Cool. Argument. Later, guys. I'm just going to go walk in the woods. And that's it. And what happened? He disappeared. What? That would be terrifying. As a kid, like, what happened to dad? He walked into the woods. Don't go into those woods because your dad will never come back. Fucking nuts. Oh, my God.
I mean, it sounds like a rough upbringing anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
It was just a matter of time before his dad walked into the woods or went to go buy cigarettes or milk or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I think we've said that before, how easy it was back in like the 40s. I'm going to go get some, I'm going to go buy a pack of cigarettes, or I'm going to go grab some eggs and milk and never come back.
But this must have been like in the mid 90s though, man.
Yeah, well, it said like
That's-
nine. Well, yeah,
He
mid
was
nineties or
born
something.
91, so this is mid 90s. We had kind of stuff sort of together in the 90s. It's a little bit harder to disappear in the 90s,
Yeah,
right?
I think at that time we were getting more tech savvy.
Surveillance cameras. I don't
And I
remember.
don't think we had surveillance cameras. I think we were just getting like cell phones, pagers. Definitely had pagers.
Pagers. That was it. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, it's like 90 something. They had pagers, mid 90s.
Man.
Yeah, and I think early 2000. Yeah, we had like phones. We were getting
Yeah.
cell phones.
Yeah. I can't remember that far back. That was like Y2K, man. That was like,
When
man.
everything like was gonna shut down
Yeah, people were like buying extra water because that was going to run out.
somehow.
So, somehow creeks would stop working and rivers would stop working.
Yeah, when Y2K hit, everything was gonna shut down.
Yeah, everything was going to shut down, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Sorry. I'm just like trying to think of like all the shit I went through preparing for Y2K. Let us know in the comments if you guys prep for Y2K the way I did. Because that thing was it nothing happened. Everyone was prepared for the end of the fucking world.
People took out all the money in the bank from their bank accounts. They like closed all their bank accounts, took all the money out because they were afraid that it was going to wipe everything out.
Yeah, and that's how little we knew about technology then.
Well, in a way, I was kind of hoping it would.
Yeah, it's like a big reset. Like all criminal records were
it would
like
be
deleted.
It'd be like an even playing field for everybody. Everyone would have like a fresh start.
Yep. Aside from the crazy world leaders with their hands on the nuke button, they're like,
right.
And now's our chance.
Right. Oh man, could you imagine?
Yeah, I was like, that's where Red Dawn happens. Y2K shit.
Yeah.
That's
I was crazy, but I always was kind of hoping for that.
You're nuts, man.
I was like, let's do it. We're going to the woods. Let's
Wolverines.
do it.
Like, how big are your woods? They're about an acre. That should be good enough. I can hide pretty well.
We'll just dig a hole.
I'm good for the next 25 years. Jeez.
Oh man. So his mother drank so much the neighbors called Child Protective Services on them because they were concerned he was being abused or neglected. I mean, she's an alcoholic. It's just them two. I could see why the neighbors would call CPS on her. And I guess in a way he kind of was being neglected because she was drunk all the time.
Yeah.
You can't can't take care of a kid when you're drunk.
No. Good for his neighbors though.
Yeah. I mean yeah.
Good for his neighbors.
Nosy neighbor, like at that point, yeah. Good on you. So by the age of 7, he started living in the woods and fending for himself. See, he would have been great in World War III.
Or you mean just Red Dawn?
Yeah, well, yeah, in that situation. Yeah, he'd be great.
Yeah.
He'd be perfect. He's like, hey, guys, I've been waiting.
He's already ready. He's seen the movies.
Yeah. School life wasn't any better for Colton. His mother would say she knew something was off about him, that there was some kind of a disconnect. He would get into fights, and apparently he wouldn't listen to his teachers. I mean, that's a lot of kids, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, when your drunk mother says something's off, you take that with a grain of salt. Like, were you off?
I mean, he's in high school or school, whatever, and he's fighting, and his home life sucks. He's probably taking it out on everybody else around him.
Yep. Story as old as time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a real disconnect.
He's a product of that environment.
Yeah, definitely. So one day at school, the other kids were picking on Colton. But on this day, it wasn't going to be like the other times he was getting picked on. This time, the new kid at school stepped in. And this kid actually has a really badass name.
Yeah, like main character name.
Yeah. So this kid's name and this is his real name, Harley Ironwing Davidson. That is 100% his real birth name.
That is just he was born way too early. Like Harley Ironwing Davidson is a fighter pilot from World War II, or a war hero from fucking Nam. Like that's what that is.
He sounds like he was born with like a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, 100%. Oh man.
I mean, that's a pretty badass name. It really is.
Yeah.
So, well, he stepped in and stuck up for Colton. Ironwing just served a 2-year sentence in the juvenile hall for burglary. One thing they had in common, Ironwing's father wasn't in the picture, and his mom was also an alcoholic and on drugs. Maybe Ironwing saw a little of himself in Colton, so they struck up a friendship, and Ironwing was going to take Colton under his wing and show him how to make it on his own and how to get away with it. Now, Ironwing told Colt to meet up with him later on at a house, and here's when Colt's life of crime would begin. Ironwing showed him how to pick a lock, showed him where to look for extra keys, and laid down some basic rules to follow. Don't rob a house if you know who lives there. Don't ever turn the lights on. And if you get spotted, just drop everything and run like hell. And lastly, don't ever feel guilty about what you're doing. Remember, this ain't hurting nobody. Everything I've stolen is insured. The insurance company will just reimburse them, and they might get something even better.
I guess justifying that. I mean, that's still shitty. But I guess in their frame of mind, even pirates had rules.
Yeah.
So
no, but I mean, he kind of has a point. It's like, you steal the TV, the insurance will cover it. They could probably get a better TV anyway. Sucks when someone breaks into your house. I mean, that's a shitty thing to do anyway.
Yeah. What happens is they steal security from your house. They steal the sense of security at your house. And that's the most valuable thing. So that's, Anyway, not getting all philosophical. But these kids, they're just kids. They can't think like that yet. So
remember, this is supposed to be funny. Okay. We're not trying to make this all serious. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Don't think about.
No. Well, did you know the repercussions, of the PTSD these guys are, you know what I mean? I don't know. They all for this, the sake of the story, everything was reimbursed.
They got everything back.
Yeah.
So anyway, over the next few months, they both broke into dozens of homes. Colton was just happy to have some food and able to just be a kid for a while playing video games, and from time to time a warm bed to sleep in. So I mean, he was living in the woods. So people would break into these people's homes. I guess they weren't home. He'd sleep in the bed, take a shower, eat some food. They would have obviously the homes had kids, so they had video games. So he'd just be a kid and play video games.
There you go.
It's not. I didn't see anything where they were like breaking shit up, like busting holes in the walls or anything. They just took stuff.
Yeah.
So he would even take any spare change they had laying around the house for lunch money. So all in all, life wasn't so bad right about now. But while all these break-ins were going on, where the heck were the cops? Now, the area the boys lived in was called the San Juan Islands in Washington State. And this was a pretty wealthy area. Apparently, 1 in 3 homes was being used as a vacation home. So there were quite a few homes that were not being occupied during the year. They scoped out a house they liked, went in and took what they wanted, then left. Back at home, Colton's home life was just getting worse. His mother was a full-blown alcoholic, and he tried to help her out, but she didn't want any help. He was a young kid that just wanted his mom to be a mom and not have to live out in the woods and steal for food and money.
Yeah. I mean, that's, man, that's tough. When your kid has to become like a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just nothing good ever comes out of it, man. Because kids aren't built to be parents. You know, like they don't know how to do that shit. So I feel bad, man. That's shit. It's just, come on, it's a tough situation, man. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's put in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's a kid, and he's gotta grow up.
Yep.
So that's he's got to learn how to do stuff on his own. Like nobody's helping him to do anything.
No.
Nothing at all. I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, I get it where he kind of it's shitty. Again, it's shitty to do, but I get it where he breaks into homes, steals the food. But what's he to do if you're starving?
Yeah, like he had to survive.
Yeah,
So
and it's not like he broke into people's homes while they were there and beat them up and
yeah.
held
So
them at
far,
gunpoint or
everything
something.
is non-violent,
Right. So far,
non-violent,
non-violent, and
non-confrontational.
right. So after a while, neighbors started noticing food missing from their fridges, and stories of a boy living in the woods, breaking into homes only to steal food to survive, started to spread across the islands. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. After a while, it's all the neighbors start talking. It's a wealthy community, so of course everybody's talking. All the wealthy people are getting food taken, so
Yeah.
I'm sure they're all up in arms. So now the cops finally got a warrant because he was committing identity theft. And at the crack of dawn, they busted down his mom's door to her house and searched all over, asking his mom, "Where's Colton?" And she was shocked, to say the least. She told the cops, "He doesn't live here anymore." The cops thought she was lying. And after an extensive search, they found nothing. Colton really wasn't living there anymore. Now that they found nothing at his mom's house, they went searching in the woods for him. They got the dogs out and started going deep into the woods. They came across a tent and surrounded the tent, calling out to Colton to come out with his hands up. The cops had their guns out, just pointing at the tent. After a couple of minutes, they just went up to it and opened it up, and the tent was empty. They didn't find nothing. All they found was a bunch of laptops, jewelry, telescopes, credit cards, checkbooks, and a bunch of different IDs, but no Colton. After a while, the cop just packed up and left. The next day, Colton went to his mom's house and left a note saying, "Mom, cops were here. Everything's on lockdown, and I'm leaving for oh man,
What? Oh,
I'm leaving for Weechee,
Ouija. There you go.
Weechee, Weechee. I
Cool.
guess yeah, won't be back." And cops want to play, huh? Well, it's not a little game, it's war. When the cops were at Colton's tent the day before, Colton watched the whole thing go down from a distance. The town didn't have the resources or manpower to keep men chasing after Colton and Ironwing. So the FBI was called in and hired manhunters to track them down. They also now had multiple warrants, and the FBI put up wanted posters all over town. Now, there was no way for him to ever go back home. He was a young man on the run and on his own. So
Oh
the
God.
cops went to his tent, found his tent, or went to his mom's house, found out he wasn't there, go to the tent. They think he's there. They, open up the tent and everything. There's all this stuff, multiple IDs, all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. No Colton. And he's actually watching them do this from a distance.
I mean, that's luck right there, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
luck. And then on top of that, they put up all the flyers with his face on it. So shit, he's blown. His cover's blown. He's got to run.
Right. Yeah.
And what do you do if you're wanted by the freaking FBI?
I,
Like that's different. At least as a kid, the police want to question you, they want to bring you in. At that point, you're not really in deep water. But once you bring in the feds, like, yeah, that's a whole. They escalated that shit real quick for a kid.
yeah. Well, I guess after like identity
Yeah,
theft.
it is. I guess it is.
Yeah, and then they're saying a bunch of houses that he broke into, him and Iron Wing.
Yeah.
So I guess the FBI had to be called in. They didn't have the manpower to keep chasing these two, which is crazy. This town must be little.
Yeah.
They don't have enough
Yeah, it must
cops.
be like fucking Barney Fife out there.
It's like 2 people.
Yeah. God, man.
So now he's stepping up his game. He started stealing cars and boats. He purchased lockpicks and night goggles with stolen credit cards. He would stay in empty houses when FBI helicopters flying around trying to find him. This kid was slippery, and how slippery you say? There was a few times while he was breaking or actually in a house and the cops would show up and somehow he would just get away every time. Homeowners would come home and find Colton sitting in their house, and before they knew it, he was gone. And really, for him to outrun the cops and have bounty hunters chasing him for months and keep getting away and all that at the age of 15, I'd have to say is pretty damn impressive.
100%. This man was like, it just, I mean, at that point, it's almost like divine intervention. Like, it's just like, man. Talk about that ego boost. Like, they haven't caught me. They've come close. They've never caught me. God, man, what's to stop him? What's to stop him?
I mean, this kid is like, is sitting. You come home, there's some kid, and this is a kid sitting there watching TV, playing a video game or something like that, and next thing you know, he's just gone. He just jumps out the window or some shit, and he's gone.
Fucking And
how do you get away with the cops when they have like helicopters flying over top? Looking
that was probably before like thermal and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably, but still, I guess also these houses were probably close to like the woods. So as soon as he got into the woods,
he was gone.
Yeah,
he dipped. Yeah. That's nuts though how he got away. Because I mean, you would think that the police would come with dogs, expecting that shit.
I mean, after the second time, you would think that they'd have dogs ready to go and just let them go, let the dogs loose on them. You know?
Yeah,
maybe.
You would think so.
So after all this, you'd think Colton actually knows what he's doing. He would always break one rule. He kept leaving lights on in houses he would break into. So one night, neighbors saw the lights on in houses that they knew should be empty. They called the cops, and they showed up, and they knew if they came with sirens and lights on, he'd run. So they snuck up to the house and surrounded him and finally caught him at the age of 16.
Wow.
All right. So since he was still a minor, he had plenty of time to turn his life around. He pled guilty to 3 counts of residential burglary and was sentenced to 3 years in a maximum security juvenile hall.
Wow. Maximum. I mean, maximum security for a nonviolent. That's kind of nuts.
I don't even know what a maximum security juvenile hall is.
I don't know. I don't think they have the death penalty, so I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Chances are they probably don't.
Yeah, I don't even know. I've never heard of that maximum security juvie. Never.
No. I just heard of juvie where I guess they just go and it's like a tall gate and
they wheel you in on that fucking cart with the mouth guard.
Like Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah. It's like, Jesus.
Hello, Clarice.
Oh, man.
Now you'd think that this was the end of the story. Well, you'd be wrong. So just like school, while he was locked up, he was getting picked on. He couldn't go anywhere, so he just kept to himself and would read. He was reading books about airplanes, and he kept up with his schoolwork while he was locked up. He was thinking about a college degree once he got out. He was headed on the right path and seemed to actually doing better. So with good behavior, he was transferred to a fenceless group home.
What? No. They had fences on group homes?
Not like, this one.
Like a concentration camp? What is that? Like, what does that mean?
That's probably what it looked like.
Oh my God.
It's probably what it looked like. When you say a fenceless group home, it's just a house.
Okay.
What? Or like a big house, you know? But gotcha. Yeah, I guess a regular one probably does look like a concentration camp.
Jeez.
with the barbed wire on the top of it and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I'd never seen a. Well, I don't even know what a group home is. I didn't think they would have barbed wire on a group home. That's crazy.
Well, good point. I don't know what a group home is either.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, that's a group home. Like, no, that's a fucking prison. Like, no, that's a group home. Shit.
Well, I guess if I see like a house with
Barbed wire and guard towers, then
yeah, it's probably a group
it's a
home
dead giveaway.
it's uh,
What a
who the hell
nice
does
way
that?
to call juvenile hall. Like
A group home.
juvie group home. Got it.
Right. So one night, when the guards were doing their head count, they noticed a window open and a bed empty. Colton was gone, and with about an hour head start, when word got out, the papers and news were all over it. The town was furious. How the hell did they let this happen after they spent all this time trying to capture him for months? His mom came out and pled for him to turn himself in, and escaping juvie would add 4 more years onto his sentence. After months of Colton basically making the cops' lives a living hell, they actually came out and said if he was to turn himself in, he would only get an additional 28 days. Not a bad deal. But Colton decided not to take it. So he decided to get back with his old buddy Ironwing. But unfortunately, Ironwing was now in prison. I mean, yeah, well, he was.
That was pretty much part of the path, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't a shocker.
No. Yeah, don't be like, what? He's in prison? Like, yeah, well, that's
No.
kind of where he was headed anyway.
Yeah.
So Colton was back to his old tricks again, breaking into homes, stealing credit cards, buying lot picks, and night vision goggles. And again, the cops had no idea where he was at.
What? You would think they would keep tabs on night vision goggles. Or so like this was what the 90s now? When was this?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
night vision goggles like in every 7-Eleven?
Well, my thing is like you're ordering this stuff. Where's it getting sent to?
Yeah. No, I think he would hit up those remember those Ranger surplus stores?
Mm-hmm.
I bet they had those there. I bet that's where he got them.
Yeah, but if he goes in there, if you're going in there around that town, people are gonna know who you are.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know. That's a good
Is it one of those
point.
or is it one of those surplus stores that like you walk in there and it has your picture behind the guy on the register?
Yeah, he just doesn't turn around.
He just is like, hey, you give me green money.
Yep, pretty much. Hey, you buy it, here it is. That's it.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
I mean,
once again, he's back to eluding everyone, making everyone look like fools.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's just.
And I don't blame him for not turning himself in because police, they lie
All the time.
all the time. I would have to say, if that was me, I would say, have a lawyer sign it, get it notarized, have it at a lawyer's office, and I'll break in and pick it up.
Right? Yeah, I'll break in and sign it, and then I'll leave.
Yep.
And
Without you guys knowing.
Again. Yep. Yeah, that actually would have been pretty funny. You broke into the police office.
Yeah.
Police station.
Yeah. God, man.
It's got to be. I being a cop in that town and knowing that everybody's like watching you.
Yeah.
And every time you walk by, they're all like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
He's 16 years old, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So one night, the cops spotted a car heading down the road, hitting speeds of over 100 miles per hour. They didn't know who was in the car at the time, so after a high-speed chase, the car hit a tree. Whoever was driving jumped out, and when the cops looked inside, they found a backpack with stolen credit cards and other items. They also found a camera, and on it was pictures of Colton Moore. Over the summer, residents would call into the police with sightings of Colton. Even the cops had run-ins with him, but yet again, he was able to get away. Dude, this guy is, oh man, I don't know how he does it. I don't know what he's doing, but he could teach a class
Yeah,
to criminals about how to get away from the cops.
like nuts, man, nuts. Could you imagine? Just imagine this. If he killed someone in every house he broke into. Just imagine that. Like this could have been. This is a possible murder spree right here
Serial
with
killer.
serial killer extraordinaire right here. But you know what though? I think that because he was doing like petty shit, they
And
just
nobody was getting hurt.
no one was getting hurt. The big guns weren't out. Like the
Right.
best of the best wasn't allocated to the police department to find a
Mhm.
16-year-old. Because then how embarrassed would the police department be? Like, no, hey man, FBI, we need your help, man. Like, you know what I mean? That's no cop in the history of cops wants the feds in their department teaching them how to do their job.
Right.
So it's just annoying.
So
It I
as long as he wasn't hurting anybody, they didn't go out and try to shoot him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He wasn't doing anything
Too drastic.
murdery yet.
Yeah, yeah, he wasn't like a serial killer. I
Yeah.
believe it. Yeah, if he had killed a few people along the way,
Yep.
they probably would have like had the
Well, then
dogs
it's
on them.
easy. Then that's an easy running. Shoot him. That's
Yeah,
just easy done. So,
shoot to kill.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah. So Now's kid had a following on Facebook on his Facebook page.
What?
Yeah, he had this kid still has a Facebook page. I think actually still does.
What?
And it has or had 15,000 followers. But the town was on edge. Gun shops were selling out of guns and ammo. So I mean, yeah, everybody's like getting freaked out,
Yeah.
starting to buy guns.
Yep.
I don't know if I'd buy a gun because of this kid, because this little 16-year-old wouldn't scare me.
No, he wouldn't. I mean, and that's a rough over escalation of force, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, depending on where he is, I don't know where he is, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
During this moment, if it's in Texas, yeah, they have every right to shoot him.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's in Washington State.
Oh,
You're in Washington State.
He's still in Washington. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
They
still,
don't.
That's still like this would never happen in Texas. That'd be over real quick.
Oh yeah. No, they would have. They would have thought they would have just said he was illegal and
Yep. And
took
then
him out.
dumped him over the wall. No crime.
Yeah. Easy. So now he started watching planes take off and land, and the routes of the pilots, the routines of the pilots. One day, he went up to a plane, broke in, read the operator's manual, and said to himself, "How hard could this be?" He played flying simulators before, and he had a rough idea of how to start and land the plane. So he found the keys, started up, rolled down the runway, and took off. And he had the biggest rush ever flying for the first time. The only problem is he looked down at his fuel gauge and noticed he was out of gas, so he had to land right away. Found a patch to put the plane down and hit hard. The plane was trashed. Dude,
What?
he bust a nut flying the plane for the first time.
And then taking off. That's nuts. That's nuts, man. Being able to fly a plane, just like, oh, I got the manual. I played flight simulators. Easy peasy. Gets up there. Have you ever landed on a flight simulator? Irrelevant.
I just crashed.
I just crashed. That's how I do it.
I'll tell you what. This goes to show you that this kid is smart.
Yeah.
First, he's smart. He's very confident.
Yep.
And he isn't scared of anything.
No.
Because, if you don't land the plane somewhat right, you're gonna die.
There's a lot of people that have died in crashes of airplanes.
Didn't
Just
know how to
saying
fly. Didn't
that.
know how to fly a plane.
Yeah. So
Amelia
that
Earhart.
it's crazy, man.
Amelia Earhart and her what is it?
Coconut crabs?
Coconut crabs. Yeah, dude, those things are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Those things are ugly.
Yeah. No, we need to eradicate them.
So for 6 months, there wasn't a sound from Colton. Then one day, he struck again. Another
Jesus.
one.
Another one.
Another one. Broke into a cop car and stole a laptop, phone, breathalyzer, and most shockingly,
Oh.
his MP-15 assault rifle. Now, at this time, he actually had a fan club selling merch with his name and face on it. He steals a boat, goes down to the Friday Harbor, steals another airplane, another airplane,
Jesus.
flies it back to the
Orcas?
Orcas Island, and crashes it again.
That's crazy. Okay, well, see, what happens is, yeah, he stole the cop's gun.
Well, then now at that point, that's more of that's like an escalation.
Yeah, now
Even if he
you're
didn't intend to do it, or
yeah.
he doesn't just to have it.
Now you're
once
assumed
you,
that he's armed,
yeah,
presumably armed and dangerous.
once you got a gun, like now that's it. You're
Yeah.
armed and dangerous because you're breaking into homes. No one knows where you are. You're
Yep.
speeding down highways. You're stealing stuff. You have a gun now, so it kind of does
Escalate
raise the bar
that.
a little bit. Yeah.
Now they have cause to bring in the big guns.
Right.
Pun intended. But yeah.
The police know where he is, and they're all out looking for him. They set up roadblocks, but yet again, this kid gets through. He steals another boat. Another one. Look at this. This motherfucker is like DJ Khaled. Another one.
Another
he steals another boat and illegally crosses into Canada. I didn't know you could do that.
Illegally cross into Canada?
Yeah. I mean, I just didn't. I mean, I know it's
I think it's done a lot.
No, I don't think a lot of people go.
Yeah.
I think most people come back out.
Yeah, they're like, wait, there's a boat coming in. Like, well, shit, that's weird.
Yeah.
So
I'm just
that
like
right there is an international crime, right?
Yes, because you're illegally crossing into another country.
Oh my god! So this kid went from like FBI to Interpol. You know, that's a. You're talking about like, okay, he's making waves on the global crime scale. He's about to be featured in the next like John Wick at the hotel.
They're gonna make a Narcos episode of him.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
So Colton steals car after car. If the car he stole ran out of gas, he would just steal another one. That kind of sounds like in Saudi Arabia, like they drive these really expensive cars, like at the Audis and Mercedes, and then they just run out of gas, so they just get out, go buy another one because it ran out of gas, and they just leave it there.
It's crazy.
That's what I heard that they do. I don't know if they actually do that, but that's what I heard they do.
I would believe it
because they got. I mean, they
got the money. Yeah,
yeah, and those are brand new, perfectly good cars, and they just somebody can put gas in it.
Yeah, it's now used.
Yeah, right. It's now been used. So steals another plane in Idaho and flies it back to Washington and safely crash lands it. Safely crash lands again.
Oh, got it. It's stupid. It's nuts, man.
This kid does all kind of man.
Couldn't he qualify for his flying license at that point if you have that many hours of flying experience?
He's got a lot of hours of flying.
Yeah, more than anyone that actually has taken the class.
Gosh,
that's nuts, man.
He's got guts, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed.
Whatever angels were with him have PTSD.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. They're traumatized. So this kid just did what he knew what to do: break into homes and steal. Now at this time, Colton started to break into grocery stores and steal food. I mean, you don't have to break into a grocery store to steal food. You just go in the dumpster and steal their food.
Yeah. I
That's,
don't know.
I don't know. Whatever. It sounds cool though. Break into the grocery store.
Fuck yeah.
And at
Well, I mean,
this
why not?
time,
Why not?
right? Yeah. I mean, it's most of the stuff they got in there going to throw it away anyway.
Yeah.
So at this time, he was barefoot, so he made chalk outlines of his feet and wrote "See ya." And this is where he got his nickname, the Barefoot Bandit. The police and dozens of bounty hunters were searching all over the woods, but Colton was long gone. Colton steals another boat and heads to Oregon. Dude, as young as he is, he's done more traveling than I have
Yeah. At that point,
in his short life.
yeah, in this short, whatever this is, 2 years, dude,
Yeah.
he is jet setting, and he is just plane crashing and boat riding, like
He's
unstoppable.
crashed.
He's
He's
living his
crashed
best life.
multiple. Oh hell yeah! He's crashed multiple airplanes. Crashed multiple airplanes and lived.
Like just so it's like become routine. Okay, we're gonna fly this, and then we're just gonna crash it like normal, like just a normal crash, and then walk away. And like he already knows how to crash an airplane.
Yeah,
What the shit?
he doesn't know how to actually land a plane. He knows how to crash land planes like safely.
That's proven time and time again.
Yeah, I mean,
Where's his course?
you know
Where's
what
his course?
exactly? He should be teaching pilots how to crash land planes. You run
Yeah,
out of gas, something happens, then do this.
yeah,
Crash land the plane safely.
yeah. By
I think they
Colton Harris.
yeah, yeah.
God.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
well, the cops would show up to Colton's mom's house every day looking for him, asking questions, but she just wanted to know if he was still alive. Over a week's time, he stole car after car and made it as far as Yankton, South Dakota. He started to case out a few homes and noticed one that didn't have any cars in the driveway. So he broke in, washed his clothes, made some food, and took a shower. So this kid's like breaking into homes and taking showers and everything. I mean, he's got it all set up.
Yeah. He's got a routine. He's got it down to a science. This guy knows what he's doing. This guy knows what he's doing. Like he has it down. Like this is where we're gonna go. We're gonna do this. Yada yada yada. He probably has that shit synchronized on his watch. You know, and it's like, okay, just copy and paste. It works.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's just like you said, he's living his life. He's living his best life, man.
Crazy.
So, but at 3 a.m., the Clark family made it home and headed into the house. But when the dad walks in, he notices the TV on, food on the counter, and the door to the bathroom at the end of the hallway is slightly open and the shower is running. As the dad reaches to open the door, it slams shut. He forces the door open, and in the scuffle, a naked Colton runs out. He chases him around the house, and finally, Colton runs into the basement. The dad is looking for him and then notices there is a red dot on him. Colton is pointing the rifle at him, and the dad takes off back upstairs. So now he has that rifle, and he's pointing the rifle at somebody. So now it has escalated even more. You know?
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
it,
Now
he,
now
he's
you went pro level. You know,
yeah.
like now you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. This
Well,
is
what do they always tell you when you point the gun at, when you point the gun at somebody or
be
something.
ready to kill him.
Yep.
Yep.
So I mean that's what he did, and the dad took off running.
That's armed. Well, that's at that point, that's armed. What is it called? Come on. That's another level. in the judicial, in the like the criminal law. Like you
Mhm.
break in with an armed, or in you're armed, that's armed robbery, I think.
Right.
Or you have to prove intent, that your intent wasn't to kill the people there, because you're that's right up there. Like that's a
Do,
major crime.
do you think he would have shot the guy?
No.
I don't think. I think he did it to scare him off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, like you are pointing a gun at somebody,
Yeah.
and it's not just any gun. That's a cop's gun.
Yeah. He
So
still had it. I mean, what state? That's such a. I would hate to be that cop. Where's your gun, bro?
yeah.
Fucking
Oh
kid.
man,
Kids
Colton
out
has
there
it.
with a freaking military grade weapon.
Jesus Christ. So he locked the door behind him, got back into his car with his family, then went to the neighbor's house and called the cops. Colton is trapped in the basement naked and he's freaking out what to do next. The cops get there and tear up the house looking for him. And guess what? No Colton. This kid broke into the washer, grabbed his clothes, and broke out the window in the basement and snuck out. Broke into another neighbor's house, stole the keys to the car, and took off, just barely getting away.
God.
Again, another one. Look at another fucking crime, another house that he broke into, and he got away.
That's
What is?
it's just. I mean, what? Jesus Christ. I mean, why? This is just the biggest, like, what the fuck? Like, law enforcement was just like, bro, we gotta get this kid. He's making us all look bad. Crashing planes and stealing boats and fucking.
How does the cops come to the house, ransack this person's house, and as they're doing that, this guy had snuck out the window, got to the other neighbor's house, grabbed keys, just pulls out and drives away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because there's no way a 16-year-old could do that. That's why. That's why. No logical adults like, all right, well, this is probably what this kid's gonna do. Fucking pull some James Bond shit.
That's crazy. I mean, and it's I mean, looking back, it's kind of impressive that he did all this stuff, that he was able to do this stuff. Not that he just did it, but that he was able to do it. It's impressive. I mean, I'm impressed because I'm like, how no other 16-year-old I've ever heard of has done something close to this.
Which is crazy because he hasn't robbed a bank. He hasn't made any sort of major pay dirt.
Mm-mm.
You know, he's still operating pretty much, I can guarantee you, on zero. Because you use your credit card once, probably, before they get what's it called? The notification. Shut that down.
Well, what do? They always buy something small, like a pack of gum.
Yeah.
And then they buy like,
a TV.
You're right. Yeah. But in his case, he was buying like night vision goggles.
Every time.
He has like 20 pairs of night vision goggles.
God.
In case, anybody wanted to join his group, sitting out in the woods and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, really, realistically, all he was doing was just doing enough to get by.
Yep. Until he pointed the gun, and then after that you can't go back. That's a whole different game.
No, well, he screwed himself by doing that.
Yeah,
he screwed himself by doing that. So at every surrounding airport in the area, Homeland Security was holding meetings with plane owners, telling them not to leave keys in planes and lock their doors. And I would just think that, I guess, maybe back then they used to leave the keys.
Yeah. Because no one that doesn't know how to fly a plane would steal a plane.
Or crazy thought, no 15, 16-year-old knew how to fly a plane.
Yeah.
Dude, this kid's on a roll.
Yeah, man.
And Colton knew this because he was spying on the airports and saw Homeland Security out there. So he knew something was up. So after a week, on the 4th of July, he saw the plane he wanted to take. Luckily, guess what? The keys were on the seat, and he filled it up with gas and went through the checklist. Which is crazy. Dude, he goes through the check. He knows the checklist that the pilots have to go through before they take off. He went through the whole checklist, filled it up with gas. The keys were right there. I mean, I don't know, man. This kid, man, he could, if he wasn't committing crimes, he really probably could have like gone and done something amazing.
Yeah. He would have been possibly the best spy we never knew about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's living that James Bond life right there, dude. Without funding.
Literally without any funding. But I mean, man, this is crazy. So he started it up and took off. His plane, where his plan was to go to Cuba. Well, that was the plan, but went towards the Bermuda Triangle instead.
Good place for planes.
And this is where the story really takes a turn.
Aliens. No.
He saw Amelia Earhart.
Yeah. Stole her plane.
Yeah. Maybe that's what happened to her.
Yeah.
That's why the coconut crabs got her. She couldn't get off the island.
Oh my God.
So he was running out of gas and needed to land and fast. He spotted some islands, saw a patch of land, and was ready to put the plane down. He didn't just put the plane down. He crashed the plane.
He Coltoned the plane.
Right. He did a Colt.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he set off the emergency locator transmitter, and it sent an SOS to the Coast Guard. I'm guessing he didn't know, because it just says he walked away from the crash. He crashed the plane. The locator, the transponder went off, sent an SOS to the Coast Guard, and he walked away. So I don't know if he actually knew what he was doing, but that day luck was on his side because it was the 4th of July, and in the Bahamas there were tons of tourists. So just another white kid walking around, and he would fit right in. Dude, he's so lucky. 4th of July in the Bermudas, he crashed the plane, he got out, started walking. There's tourists all over the place. He blends right into the crowds because he's not the only white person there.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
So while in the Bahamas, he just was back up to his old tricks again, breaking into empty houses and stealing food and cars. But the police shut down the airports and posted wanted posters all over the island. On the next island over, called the Party on the Bluff, there was a huge party on the beach. This boat comes speeding up to the dock, and this white boy stands up and yells, "Yo, did you hear about the plane I crashed?" The music stops. One of the locals said, "Who are you?" And he replies, "I'm Colton Harris." I don't know. Maybe he sounded like, "I'm Colton Harris."
Yeah. He has
the plane.
Yeah, that's kind of like. Here's my question: they must have mobilized pretty fast to get the Bahamian government to start shutting shit down. You know, they must have been like, plane crashed. Oh, not big, but I mean, think about it. You have a plane that crashes, you don't know whose it is, right? You don't know whose it is. You don't know what it is. You get an SOS signal. You're the Coast Guard. So the Coast Guard goes, and it's like, that must be Colton Harris. And then they send up a fucking bat signal to the Bahamas, and they're like, Colton Harris, shut it down. Things don't work that quick. It's nuts. These guys must have been on this guy's tail. Like crazy. In order for them to make that shit happen as quick as it has, or as the story says, it's crazy, because now you're talking about international coalition to stop this man.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he must be pretty well known.
Yeah, I guess.
You know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, even with the Facebook group, that's still just 15,000 followers. That's really not a lot. So it's like, That's still like he could still be unknown. He wasn't playing it cool. If he would have just played it cool, he could have blended in and disappeared
He could have,
anywhere.
but I remember he's still a little 16-year-old,
Yeah.
17-year-old that probably just thinks he's hot shit anyway.
Yeah.
So local guy said,
Well, why wouldn't he?
so
Why wouldn't he? He hasn't
right,
been stopped. He's like,
right, yeah. I mean, he could say all kinds of. I mean, he does have the right to brag. I
yeah,
guess.
he has that main character energy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he can talk all kinds of shit, and it's not like he just got out of jail of
No.
10 years or something like that. Like he hasn't been caught, and
Yeah.
when he was caught, he escaped.
He escaped. Oh my god.
So the local guy said, "So, why are you so far from home?" And Colton said, "Too many cops. So, where are all your cops?" And the local guy said, "We don't have many cops around here." And Colton said, "Well, call them. I'm bored. I want to get chased. Call them." Colton kept saying to the local man to call the cops. He's very now at this point. He's pretty arrogant.
Yeah, he's on cloud nine, man. He gets a rush, I guess, from it all.
Yeah,
He has
probably.
to have.
Yeah, call the cops. Call your cops. Call
Yep.
your police. Respect my authority. So the local guy picked up his phone and called the cops. And as he did, Colton turned the boat back, man. Colton turned the boat back on, and before he sped off, he yelled, "I'm going to read about me on the internet," and takes off. Everyone on the beach was like, "What the fuck was all that about?" I mean, yeah, because like some white kids like, call
I'm
your cops.
invincible. Call your cops. I'm untouchable. I'm gonna go read about myself on the internet. Bye, bitches. And they're like, should we turn the music back on?
Yeah, everyone's probably like, "What a douche."
Yeah, what a douche. Just like fucking ruin our party. Whatever the fuck that was.
So now he was headed back towards the harbor islands, and it was a good place to hide from the cops and look for another boat. Colton grabs his pistol, a bag, and sprinted towards the hotel. A security guard spots him and gives chase, but as soon as the guard saw his pistol, he backed off. But he did call the cops. And that call went out to everyone on the island. At 3 a.m., a cop stops to take a piss. And no sooner than he unzips his pants, he hears someone running towards the boat. It was Colton. He gets into the boat and takes off. The cops in pursuit, but this boat was more than capable of outrunning the cops, and it was fully fueled. God, this guy, he like knows what to go after.
God,
I don't know if he's looking on the internet. I don't know if phones. I can't remember. I don't even know if phones back then could get on the internet. But like he knew. It seems like he knew like which boat to go after or something. Which. I don't know. He was just lucky. I think he was just lucky. But after a while, he finally starts to lose them and watches their lights get further and further away. But in doing so, he wasn't paying attention and he beached his boat.
oh,
Yeah. So being an asshole, he's like, "Ha, I got away," not paying attention, and just beaches himself. So he's stuck in the sand. So he punches the gas, but only digs himself in the sand more and more. And at this moment, he actually thought about ending it. He put his pistol to his head. He refused to put his hands up, and this went on for a while. Colton fired a single shot and punched the gas, hoping to escape again. But the cop shot out his engine, and he had nowhere to go. As the smoke cleared, Colton finally put his hands up, and the cops put the cuffs on him. Hey, no one was killed in this exchange. Now, after all this, you think he was going to spend years in the Bahamian Fox Hill prison. He was going to have so many charges against him, but actually he had just one charge against him.
what?
Not presenting his passport when entering the country. That was his crime. That was his crime. Not that he got away from the cops and waved a gun or anything like that, or stole boats and cars. but just that he didn't present his ID.
That's the price it costs to illegally sneak into a country. Is $300.
That's it.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. He was just fined $300, which the U.S. Embassy paid, and he was sent back to the States. Now he had, since the government paid for the $300, they got him. We got him. Now he had 67 felonies in 3 different countries and was looking at 20 to 30 years in prison. So technically he'd be like almost 60 if he got out. When he got out of jail. Almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Colton got one of the most infamous lawyers at the time, John Henry Brown. And you might be saying, an infamous lawyer at the time, who did he represent? You might be asking. That was Ted Bundy's lawyer.
Nuts.
I mean,
shit.
Really, what other lawyer was he going to get it? You know, that
must have been awesome for any lawyer. Like, bro, you want an awesome case? Want to have he's guilty of shit, but you want an awesome case and get publicity? I would have thought someone else would have jumped at this, because man, I would have loved to be.
Did.
Yeah, I would have been I would love to be in the courtroom just to hear the judge be like, "Holy shit, who is this kid?"
I was like, how did you get his lawyer?
Like, I need to be in the same room as this kid. Just like that energy, man, is nuts.
Dude, that is pretty crazy. So now the total cost for all the damages added up to a whopping $1.4 million. To be able to pay the victims back, he made a deal with Fox for his life story for $1.3 million. And if the victims were paid back, he still could never make any money off his life story ever. Now, even though the judge saw how rough his home life really was, that he really had to steal just to eat most times, he honestly felt bad for him. But Colton still got 6 years in prison. I mean, this isn't bad. 6 years.
Facing 20 to 30 and getting 6?
Yeah. Right. I mean, you're still out way before you're 30, so. Right?
And way before most people in prison.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
He got off very, my God, man, could you imagine this kid just going to prison? Like, what the fuck are you in for? And they let me check your papers. And he's like, bah!
Yeah, it's a big stack.
It's like,
yeah,
like, holy shit.
Like,
mad respect.
He did like a whole, like, people would do that, like a criminal.
Yeah.
Like a lifelong criminal.
Yeah.
That's what they would have done like their whole career.
Yeah.
And he did that in like 2 years.
Yeah. I would have loved that. Been the other prisoner, like, let me check your papers. And he's just like, here's the first stack of them.
Well, here's not my papers. Here's like my fucking file cabinet.
Yeah.
Full of
pretty
stuff.
Much. You got to ask the secretary that I came with.
Right.
Oh my God, dude.
So Colton is out of prison now and is said to just keep to himself for the most part. He's done a few interviews over the years, and he's also said he never liked the nickname the Barefoot Bandit.
Yeah, you don't get to choose that. Stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh well, too bad.
Yeah, too bad. You don't get to choose your nickname.
No,
that would be annoying though. You're living on like life on the edge. You're like above the law, and it's like the Barefoot Bandit. You're like, shit. Damn it, nothing cooler than that.
Yeah, come on, I gotta have a better name than that. Iron Wing was a badass name.
I would have stolen it.
Even just Harley Davidson. Like, no, I mean, that was his name.
It would have had to have been Iron Wing with the amount of planes he crashed.
Oh, well, yeah.
Iron Wing, fucking, or Dark Wing. Duck.
Ooh, well, Duck.
Let's get dangerous. Like, fuck yeah. Oh my God, man.
What was his partner? What was it? What was the guy? What was the other guy's name?
Harley Iron Wing Davidson.
No, on Darkwing Duck. What was the guy? Remember
Launchpad, Launchpad, McQuack. Oh my God! Yes,
Yes.
that would have been it. And you know what? That would have been valid. That would have been a valid nickname because it was on during the time.
Mm-hmm.
Launchpad. Oh my God.
That's what. Yeah, that's his. That should have been his name.
Oh man. Shit, dude. Yeah, because he never flew a plane. He never flew a plane he couldn't crash. You know.
It's so funny.
Can I fly? Yes. Landing? No. Terrible at that.
Not very good at that.
I mean, great at crashing if you think about it. He was
Oh,
the best at crashing because
yeah,
he always survived.
yeah, yeah.
Worst
Yeah.
at landing, best at crashing.
Damn this
Like
guy.
I would just shit my pants. Like, okay, now I'm gonna crash. This is the crash part of the trip. Again, it always happens.
But
Like,
he had to have gotten good at it.
that's what I'm saying. Where's his classes? Where's
Yeah.
his like, dude? If I mean, for me, all of his story screams CIA.
Mm,
Like,
mm-hmm,
get this guy.
mm-hmm.
Is this kid? He's young enough. Usually, this is where the CIA pulls people from. Is shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they usually get like the hackers and stuff to work for them.
Yeah.
Like, this dude, man, this guy would definitely be able to teach a course on like urban survival for their agents. Like this, is what you do
Oh
when you
my
come
gosh.
across a plane. Fucking
Well,
take it.
not even just that. He lived in the woods.
Yeah.
He was living in the woods this whole time. He could survive. I mean, and I guess aren't there bears in Washington State?
Yeah,
So he's living out there
he's
with
probably
the
stealing shit from them too.
he's doing their honey.
Yeah, yeah, they're picnic baskets. Yeah. Oh my god, man,
Jeez.
dude, what a story! This guy
Crazy.
was the main
Crazy.
character.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is actually a good supervillain.
I mean, but could you even call him a villain? You know, he was just one of those unstoppables. You know, that's what he is. He's just not necessarily evil. He's like Dennis the Menace grown up.
But don't most supervillains do stuff to like like almost do things to not just get by, but for the betterment of themselves, I guess.
Yeah, and he really didn't ever. He didn't rob a bank. Like I said, like his all he was charged was damages. Like
he didn't rob a bank, but he did steal identity. I mean,
yeah,
people's identity. And he kind of stole money.
kind of, but he didn't like. It wasn't at gunpoint. It wasn't like I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I guess if you steal enough loose change, that technically is a lot of money. But like, would I ever bring someone up on robbery charges for stealing loose change? Like, no.
$5 and like
$10, even if it's $1,000, like maybe. But it's like, but I don't know. I bet his theft was always small. I bet his theft was always maybe 5,000 or less.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. I think per card is probably 5,000 or less. So each of those charges was probably less. Was probably a misdemeanor. They didn't charge it all as one. It was like petty theft, like, tons of like petty theft. I bet his petty theft was like fucking all the paper. Oh my god, could you imagine? Colton Harris, you're being charged with and
right, yeah.
Just get ready. This is gonna be a long one.
But yeah, man. So
hey.
Anyway, so that was our story for today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel, for joining us.
Hey, it's always good. It's always good to unvault some of these Spotify locked exclusives and put them on YouTube. And this was a great one. It's always amazing. It's always amazing to see what this like to revisit this story is nuts. Not many people know about this guy. And I'm
No.
like, dude, this guy was absolutely crazy. And at the same time, again, lack of guinea pigs in the story. So,
There were no guinea pigs hurt.
no guinea pigs. No, none. We're going to change that, guys. If you guys know any good guinea pig stories, let us know.
Any guinea pigs that were like abducted by aliens.
Yep, let us know, guys. But yeah, man. No, thanks for having me back on the podcast, man. It's always a good time, man.
No. Thank you for joining us. And thank you all for tuning in and listening. And please, as always, like, subscribe, share. Please leave a comment. Yes. We will definitely try to get back to you ASAP.
Yep.
And if you do have any ideas,
in general,
email us.
In general,
or if you have
ideas,
any comments, if you just want to leave us a comment by email too, whatever.
You can find our email. Yeah, you can find our email out there. It's there. I think it's in the About tab, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So you can find it. It does exist. It's out there. But yeah.
It does exist.
It does exist.
It is out there. It is the real adfiles at gmail.com.
Boom. And now we just need to.
Yes, it is. I had to make sure.
Yeah. Actually, stand by. It is.
It is. If anybody is very, very curious, the real adfiles.
Got it.
The real
just
adfiles.
Dust off the cobwebs.
Yep.
Well, there you have it.
Just making sure. So
and there you have it, guys.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to leave us a comment through email, you have a suggestion, whatever, cool story you want to tell us about. Yeah. Again, thank you for the two listening.
Yeah, thank you guys. We do it for the both of you.
Always. Yep. Much respect. And remember, we will be doing. We'll try getting another live video sometime this month because it is February now.
It is. We're brand new.
Yeah.
Can't believe it feels like a lot longer. Feels like it's already like September of next year. Yeah. The longest January I've ever remembered.
So we're finally in February, and yes, we'll try to do another live sometime this month. But we'll definitely keep you guys posted.
For sure.
So keep an eye out for that. Join us, won't you? And we'll come with. I think we'll come with a story this time.
Yeah, I think so. I think we should. It'll be good. Just like this. We might even have a jingle by then.
Maybe. If anybody does have a jingle, would like to have and send it to us. I don't know if we could put it up, but
it has to be copyright free, and it has to be. I would say more jangle than jingle. Be a jingle. We got to be different.
Yeah. So that'd be kind of cool too.
Yep.
So yeah, if anyone has any musical talent.
Yep. I mean, I can always ask Spence, but we'll come up with the jingle.
We'll do something. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's just
if Wayne's World could do it, we can.
Why can't we? We can do it.
What?
It's adfiles.
What? Part-time, excellent. Copyright infringement. Woo. Swing. Yeah. Oh God. And with that.
Yes. Again, thank you. And please, whatever just said, I repeat.
Yes.
Always.
Save
the guinea pigs.
Always.
Save the guinea pigs.
Yeah. Back to Guinea. Back to Guinea.
Back to Guinea, you nasty guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs to Guinea. # blessed. # guinea pig relocation. We'll make it work.
Yeah. So thanks again. And join us next time, won't you? On the F-Files.
Later, guys.
Peace. All right. Let's end this thing.
Huh? It never ends.
It never
ends.
We're
just Morse code jingle.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, and it says like we want to live. That's
Yeah.
what the Morse code
Save our podcast.
yeah. Subscribe. subscribe.
Oh man,
Thanks again.
are we still going?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, we are.
My God, end it.